time, everybody, and welcome to the Jersey Shore Podcast. Today, we've got a packed show from breaking news to topics that will keep you informed. So please click the subscribe button to get notified of upcoming episodes. If you like what the Hammer talked about, then share the Jersey Shore Podcast to others. Damon also looks forward to your comments during this episode. Tonight's Jersey Shore Podcast starts.
Hello, everyone. I'm Damon Galdo, and I'm proud to be in front of this beautiful monument that Frank Cedar built. And it's not about the stone, it's not about the brick, it's not about the craftsmanship, even though he is a great craftsman. It's about the sacrifice. It's about remembrance. That's what today is all about. And I'll be honest with you, I never served in that capacity of these great men and women. I never sacrificed as much as they did and put everything on the line. But what I am putting on the line is I'm running for Congress. So I can't compare myself to them, but I thank them for their service, very much so. Because if it wasn't for them, I wouldn't be able to run for Congress. I wouldn't have the freedoms that I have today. You wouldn't have it either. So we have to remember all of the brave men and women that sacrificed their lives, sacrificed their time and effort, everything that they've done for this country, because we wouldn't be the country that we are if it wasn't for them. And I would say to Frank, he's local. I know you're shy. Thank you, Frank, for building all this. There's a lot more that Frank has done, and Frank, you are amazing. So I want to say, God bless you, Frank. God bless our veterans, and God bless the United States of America. Thank you.
All right. Well, hello, everybody. Welcome back to another episode of the Jersey Shore Podcast. It's SURE because we are always sure. Brought to you by the Great America's Pulse Network. We have a great guest that's about to come on. And that was a video that I just did last minute because I had to get ready for this podcast. We have a lot of stuff going on. It's Memorial Day with the family and everything. And I wanted to get that out there. I met with Frank yesterday. He's a great guy. He's built so many memorials around here, and he doesn't want to take credit for it. He's that type of guy. He just wants to do it because he believes in this country and he believes that we need to remember our fallen soldiers and the people that served. So with that, I'm going to bring on our guest. We have a special guest today. We have Joe Lombardi from Ironhawk Financial. So let's bring Joe on. Here we go. There you go. What's up, man? Hey, thanks for joining me on Memorial Day, man. I know it's a busy weekend, busy day, but I know that you are always busy. So,
Hey man, thanks for having me, man. I just want to be here to support people that defend our country and want to take time out of my busy day and with my family and bring it to the people to remember. My grandfather was appointed by Theodore Roosevelt, Navy Annapolis, Frank Pinto, and he's won several awards. He was on the USS Hornet as a commanding officer on a huge fleet, and it's not easy when you remember. People remember freedom. People don't remember what we went through, what we sacrificed, the deaths of many Americans to enjoy the freedoms, what little freedoms we have left, because they're definitely stealing them all. But what little bit of freedoms we have left, and we all play our part. And I appreciate the invite today.
Thank you for coming on. And before we get into it, all the meat and potatoes of what you're going to talk about, but yeah, I think that in this country, people are missing that now. They're not realizing how good we have it, and the people that sacrificed their lives, and or not even just their lives, their time and their. I don't even know how to say it. Like it's just even the ones that survive when they come home, and all the anguish they go through, remembering seeing their, fallen brothers and sisters. I think people just need to remember that. And that's the most important thing about Memorial Day.
Yeah, I mean, when it comes to war, you either die on the field or you die when you come back home mentally, emotionally, spiritually. So it's one of those things where the sacrifice is a lot more than people understand. And as you get older, and as I get older, and I get to meet a lot of good patriots. I have over 4,000 clients, and I'd say 90% of them are patriots. And the stories you hear, and the tribulations, the troubles, the readjustment back. Seeing people they love die, it's not talked about enough. It's sort of ignored, and look what Vietnam. I mean, these people went to war and they were booed and on the way home, and it's just people it's easy to judge people when you don't understand what they're going through, and wanting to give your life for a bigger cause. So I have nothing but utmost respect, and I have nothing but utmost honor for people that if they were E1, that gave their lives to the country, to betterment of all of us, and that sacrifice goes so unlooked, unwarranted, unloved, unappreciated. But I want to let if you are a veteran, from the bottom of my heart, I appreciate everything you've done for our country, and I pray for your emotional, mental, spiritual, physical, and financial health.
Okay, well, speaking of that, with financial health, I mean, we'll start with that. When veterans get home, like, what would your advice be to them, um, financially? Because they've been at war, and they've seen a lot of horrible things, and they have to get back into the market for work. And so, what would your recommendation be to them?
Well, I mean, what's not taught, because the government, you know, owns the educational system. The educational system tells you to invest in the government. You have the educational system telling 15, 16, 17, 18 year olds to go $250,000 in debt to get an education that they don't even know what they want to do. Um, so the system's rigged against you from you being, a child. You are being manipulated by the matrix, by the system. So, number one is very clear. Debt is cancer. Debt is cancer to your future self. It's cancer to your growth. It's cancer to your optimism in life. And that's not an accident. You have to understand, right? I'm a Christian. I read the Bible, and usury is against the law inside the Christian faith. But yet, we're a Christian nation that's run by, Jewish people, and Jewish people believe in usury. And so you have to understand that we're playing a rigged game. And, there's a reason why Israel didn't exist for 1948 years since Christ's been here. So you have to look deep, and most people, they don't want to. They're distracted by mainstream media, Netflix, sporting events. They know their favorite football players' yards. They know their fantasy teams' points. They don't know what's in their 401k. They don't know what a 12B1 fee is, Class A share fund fee is, money management fee, annual account fee, mutual fund expense fee. They don't know what asset management is. They don't even know sectors. They don't know small cap, mid cap, large cap. They don't know what type of investor they are, conservative, moderate, aggressive. They don't know their time horizon. They don't know their risk tolerance. And again, all that's by design. You're talking about the country that spends the most amount of money on education, the United States. And
You're
you're
right.
talking about the same country that's 27th in math, 25th in science. Um, Imagine you own a company, and you spent the most amount of money out of all your competitors, and you rank 27th, right? I think the investors would pull out. So you have to understand that the people in charge aren't stupid. They're smarter than all of us. We're getting dumber and dumber and dumber and dumber as a country. And it's by design. No kid left behind, right? So all our children are learning at the least kids in that classroom. The worst kids rhythm of his learning is what all the other kids have to go to. That's not how it was 70 years ago. That's not how it was 100 years ago. And they're using victimhood, they're using excuses, which are all done on purpose to make us smart enough to work and dumb enough to realize that we are enslaved and our social security number is our slave number.
No, I agree with you there. And I just want to say to people that joined on in the chat there, thank you for coming on. And anybody else can, ask a question. We'll see it in the chat box and we'll bring it up. I see Young MB, sorry, it's small, Adrian, Pete Sykes, my good buddy, is on there. He said focus on the bread and circuses. I don't know what he means by that, but
I know what he means by that. What he means by that is the Roman Empire fell with breads and circuses, and we have NFL stadiums that are filled with 70,000 people. That we care more about random people throwing a ball around than we do about our own communities, that we do about our own neighborhoods, that we do about our own financial health, let alone our physical health. We're one of the most unhealthiest countries in the world. So when you look at it, we have 5 selves, right? You have your spiritual self, your mental self, your emotional self, your physical self, and your financial self. And at the end of the day, what we have is we have a education system, we have a media system, we have a brainwashing system, we have a television telling you a vision system, programming, right? TV programming system that is to make you believe that you are weak, you are small, disconnect your relationship with Jesus, and go to the devil. That's what our system is designed to do. And God has been taken out, decade by decade by decade by decade out of our culture, out of our society. Now you have big gatherings with demons. You go to a rock concert. It's disgusting. And so, it comes down to critical thinking. It comes down to self-love, self-care. And all those are multipliers to your financial health. And if any of your viewers are not in a financial position that they believe they should be, it's because they haven't filled a hole in their heart. And they haven't filled that hole with Jesus, positivity, positive self-talk. And it's not working hard, because I make more money when I don't work as hard than when I work hard. It's working smarter.
Yeah, everyone says that all the time to me. That I'm in the construction business. They work smarter, not harder, and that's what it is. And I just want to say, somebody old man says hammer. So all right, fine. I'll bring it up real quick. This is Seth calls me the hammer, so I got the golden hammer here. So there we go. But how would you get this? What is your spiel like how do you make the money you make? What would you tell people that are out there, even from the younger kids that are going to college for things that they shouldn't be going to college for?
Sports medicine, gender studies,
underwater basketball, as my buddy Pete always says, or lesbian dance theory, things that don't work. From them to people that are older, that are retiring. So what do you do? What does your company do, and what is it?
Yeah, so I'm the owner and founder of Ironhawk Financial. Again, this is not a bragging thing. I'm just telling you what I've done. I don't believe I'm better than anybody else. I want to make that point very clear. But I'm the owner and founder of Ironhawk Financial. I've been in business for 23 years. I've won 42 industry awards. I've been featured in International Business Times, Business Insider, Market Insider, The Daily Caller, the Marquis Who's Who, in the Congressional Library, which is right there for 2023. I'm also on the cover of many publications like the Who's Who in Building and Construction, and we'll get into why a financial planner is on the cover of a building construction magazine, hence your contractor construction, as so was my dad. I'm also on the cover of the top 40 under 40 for finance in the country. I've written 3 5-star rated books on Amazon. I'm a published author. Being Your Own Bank, There's a Better Way Than a 401k, and Long-Term Care Without Long-Term Pains. Have over 4,000 clients, over 4 billion with a B, $1 billion of protection rollovers in my career. I have 0 complaints, A+ rated on the Better Business Bureau, 5-star rated on Google, Never lost a client a dollar in 23 years. Never charged a client a dollar in 23 years. And I got into this business watching my dad fall 3 stories off a ladder, JV Lombardi Builders, lost everything, $27 million, gone after 30 years of building, had no disability. Watched my mother die at 52 years old, cirrhosis of liver from alcoholism, had no life insurance. I was her closest of kin. She died 10/3/09. My first child was born 11/3/09. I have 3 of them. And that crippled me financially, mentally, emotionally, and spiritually. And it took me a solid decade to get out of that anxiety and depression through SSRIs, doctors, therapists, hypnotherapists. I can go on and on and on. My mom didn't have a plan, and her plan was to leave it on her kid. And I'm sure a lot of your viewers, that's their plan. And I don't advise it. I really don't. It's one of the most selfish things you can do is have no plan when you die and leave it to your children to figure out when they have their own lives.
Yes.
So, and then I watched my grandmother have a stroke, led to dementia. She lost $4.2 million. And my grandfather took 40 years of building Lombardi masonry out of Trumbull, Connecticut. And state of Connecticut stole it because dementia doesn't kill you. So she stayed alive over 7 years, being charged $30,000 a month, which cost her about $55,000 a month because you have these pesky things called taxation. So stocks had to be sold, real estate had to be sold, realtor cost, income, federal, state, FICA, Medicare, unemployment, Social Security. So I have made it my life's mission to protect people. I work 70, 80 hours a week while I make millions of dollars a year with $1 billion book. I don't need to work, but I'm trying to free people, trying to help people, trying to wake people up. You are not taught this. It's not your fault. However, once you learn about this and you do nothing about it, that is your fault. And it's one of those things where it's very, very important. I'd say it's a very high priority to make sure the people you love are safe, protected, especially if you're the breadwinner, especially if you're a male. If something happens to you, look at your wife, look at your children. What are they going to do? Are they going to stay in the same quality of life in the same house? No. They're going to go to a more impoverished place filled with drugs, filled with people they don't know. So these are the things that, again, is this fun? Is this like, yay? No, but you do it once and you're done. If you fail to plan, your plan is to fail. And at the end of the day, most people, they just go through life saying, man, whatever's going to happen is going to happen. I'm going to live forever. I'm Superman. I mean, my dad's calves when he was alive, he died 1/1 this year. But when he was alive, his calves were the size of my head. He was the strongest man I ever met. He worked in masonry with his father, Lombardi Masonry, and then built JV Lombardi Builders. So he worked with his hands for 4 decades. Very strong man. I'm talking Jack. His brother, Davey, he was in the Navy, and he died of Agent Orange. Again, his own government killed him, similar to 9/11. And this is something that, it affected me. And can we change everything? No. But what can you change? You could change what God gives you, your present. That's why they call it a present, because it's a gift. Like Christmas presents, birthday presents, it's a present. And most people take their present and they waste it. They use it to do things that don't benefit them. They use it to distract them, video games, Netflix shows. And they either live in the past, which is depression, or they live in the future, which is anxiety. And so they're not even living in the present. And God's saying, hey, I gave you this present and you're not taking advantage of it. And so luckily for me, I did. And I built a great family. Been with my wife since I was 18. I'm 41. I'll be 42 next month. I have 3 beautiful children, 17, 14, and 11. My daughter's going to be 11 in 2 days. And, that's all her trophies behind me because we're doing construction at our house. She's on the USA TAP team. We compete in Europe, for TAP against other countries once a year. So, at the end of the day, it comes down to not how much you make. That is the misconception. It comes down to what do you do with what you have. I have clients who make $80,000 a year, husband and wife. Husband makes 50, wife makes 30. They're millionaires because they save 20% of every dollar that comes in. I have clients who make $750,000 a year and their net worth is negative. So people have misconception. Like, I don't make enough to save. I don't know if I can say the S word, but bull. You know what?
You can say it.
Bullshit. You don't make enough money. Take 10, 20% of what you make. You need to make $15,000 a year and save it for your future self, because nobody is going to help your future self but you. And again, this is something that's not taught in schools.
Hold on, Heather. I'm calling my wife down. I want her to hear this. So no, I'm making a joke. She's watching right now anyway upstairs. So she'll yell at me later. But no, you're right about that. And I see people that are joining in the chat and figured out that they've been stealing everything they've got. So I know there's a lot of fraud out there. I'm assuming that's what they mean by it, that they're stealing all of our money. But
well, how are they doing it? Right? When you look at the government, do they sell goods and services?
No. The government doesn't have.
The only way the government makes money is stealing our money.
Yeah,
federal tax, state tax, FICA, Medicare, unemployment, Social Security tax, sales tax, property tax, cell phone tax, gas tax, alcohol tax, home phone tax, internet tax. Now there's a solar tax. So if you had solar on your house trying to be green, now they're going to tax you. The energy companies, UI and Eversource, are charging you a tax to have solar. Are you? I don't even want to say the F word, but are you kidding me?
Yeah, I know.
It's literally, we are being attacked. We can't own houses because if you own your house free and clear, you still got to pay F taxes. So
that's the biggest problem in New Jersey here. I mean, I tell people all the time.
New Jersey's horrible. I mean, I'm in Connecticut. Not that it's that much better at all.
But I call New Jersey a prison, and it is. It's because they tax people out of their homes. I mean, the gas tax there. The property taxes are the highest in the country. They call it the East Coast California, and you don't get anything for your money. I mean, the tolls go up automatically.
Thank you.
The gas tax goes up automatically.
Thank you.
And when you want to leave, then I'm going to say it again. I'm going to say it over and over again because it reminds me of that movie, Bronx Tale, when Sonny was in the bar and he locked the door. He said, "Now you can't leave." And the reason he did that is because they couldn't leave. So if you want to leave New Jersey, you're getting taxed on the way out. So that's why I call it a prison. That's why I want to change in New Jersey. That's why I'm running for Congress here.
Why do you think I spent over 60% of my life freeing people, building them tax-free Roth IRAs, being their own bank, teaching people IRS code section 7702. I mean, if you want to get to the meat of what I do, right? I tell people that own 401ks, IRAs, SEP, Simples, pension, deferred comp, 457, brokerage accounts, rental properties, get the hell out. Taxable, 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 taxable. Anybody own tax-free assets anymore? Anybody own pensions anymore? So we've been brainwashed to get assets. Why the hell would we want assets? Well, they're high tax. You got to pay fees. You got property taxes. You got, fees to have someone manage your money to steal 1.5%. I mean, you look at a 401k, right? It's very simple. Okay. I'm not going to try and overwhelm your people with derivatives and option contracts and participation rates. And everyone's going to look at me like I'm speaking Spanish or Chinese, right? I want to make this stupid simple. Okay. If you have a 401k, why? That's number one. Number two, what is a 401k? Think about it. What's a 401k?
Yeah, well, it's a retirement fund.
It's a retirement account. It's check. No, that's not what it is. It's an IRS code. So you have 401k, you have 403b, you have 457, you have college savings plan 529. Those are all IRS codes. Well, what do the millionaires and billionaires do? Do you think they have 401ks and IRAs? You'd be an idiot if you said yes. They don't. You know what they have? They have what's called 7,702 plans, 7702 plans. So you have all these codes up here, 400, 500, right? 508 plans, really special. I smoke those things. You have all these plans up here that are all 400s and 500s. But yet the millionaires invest in 7,000. I'm putting my hand where my feet are. 7,702 plans. That's what millionaires and billionaires do. They don't invest. You know why? Because 7702 plans can't lose. It's tax-free. It's sue-proof. Works as a trust, averaging 14% tax-free returns. Can lien the money out. Has disability of up to 1.5 million in cash while you're still alive. Has long-term care up to $30,000 a month tax-free while you're still alive. Has a death benefit, also known as the Rockefeller strategy. It's incontestable in court. It's non-disclosable on the FAFSA form and secondary form. It doesn't disqualify your children from grants, scholarships, loan trade student loans, or financial aid, which, again, that's a conversation. You want your kids going to college. I don't want my 3 kids going to college, but that's a whole other story. So when you look at this strategy, the average American doesn't understand. And who? What the hell do I know? I don't know. I've only worked in Wall Street. I only have my own radio show. I only have my own podcast, Money Talk with Ironhawk. I've only won 42 awards. I only have over 4,000 clients. You know, like what do I know? I've only done deals with celebrities. I'm on all the DraftKings commercials. If any of your listeners have seen DraftKings commercial, I'm Joe L in the pink suit, Joe Lombardi. So when you understand what's really going on, you're red pilled, right? Once you go down a rabbit hole, you can never go undone. You can never go back. I know what happened with the Olympic, which they call the Titanic. I know what happened with the Federal Reserve. I know what happened with 9/11. When you look at what's really going on, if you believe the mainstream media, you will be a sheep. You'll be taken advantage of. You will be thrown into the industrial complex machine to be grinded, used, abused, and stolen from. Well, my clients, they're sick of it. I mean, they're sick of being robbed, lied to, stolen from. And they said, you know what, Joe, there has to be a better way than a 401k. That's my second 5-star rated book. So when you understand that this stuff exists, once you learn about it, if you're still doing what everyone else is doing and losing, you don't have an excuse. It's like I sinned. I lived a really crazy life. I had no mom. You know, before I was even born, my mom wanted to murder me. She wanted an abortion. My dad was pro-life. I wouldn't be here. R.I.P. Pops. So my mom left at 4 to do drugs and party, and she didn't want to be a mom, right? Then she dies, right? Never rekindled our relationship, right? So there is no boohoo story, right? If anybody here wants to be a victim, have at it. But whatever story you've been through, there's people that live 20 times worse, and they're winning, and you're not. So it really comes down to believing in yourself. It comes down to researching. It comes down to disconnecting from the matrix and realizing what you have and making the best of what you have for your present self and enriching your future self. That's the name of the game. It's that simple.
All right, buddy. Listen, I love what you're saying. That's why I'm being quiet right now. Everything sounds really good. We're going to take a quick break. Then we'll be right back, and then we'll talk about your book. And I believe you, if anyone contacts you, you'll send them your book.
Oh yeah. If anybody wants everything for free, I've never charged a client $1. God takes care of me. Jesus takes care of me. I don't need a penny from you, but I will teach you everything. Send an email to info@ironhawkfinancial.com, info at iron like the metal, hawk like the bird, financial.com. And I'll send you all my books, articles, magazines, websites, webinar. I was on the Dave Hodges show. I'll send you those podcasts where we go deep dive into it. I mean, I send everything. There's no cost to it. So you can't say what my dad said. Oh, I didn't know, which is BS. You know, my dad knew. He just was too lazy or thought, I'm insured up the butt. I don't need another insurance policy. Info at ironhawkfinancial.com. You get everything I've ever done for free, zero cost. So you can learn about it.
All right. Well, everybody stay tuned. We're going to take a quick break and make sure you like and subscribe. And if you have any questions, put it in the chat box. So we'll go on a quick break.
Yeah. This one's for New Jersey. For every working family that's had enough. Name's Damon Galdo. And I'm just getting started.
So, Joe, that was just a short, very small clip of a song that I made.
I want that song to keep going, man. I was getting pumped. I was like, Galdo, Galdo, let's go, man. I'm about ready to put a verse on that.
You'll see it at the end. But that's just a little quick break there. Or we may be running the ad for the Canine Country Jam because we have that coming up May 30th, and we need people to come to that. And it's actually kind of cool. I'll just fill you in real quick. It's around here, like in Franklinville, the police dogs they're taken care of by the police officers, and they take them home with them, they feed them, but their vet bills, if they get sick or hurt, it's not covered. It's not covered by the police department. They have to pay for it too. And police dogs are officers. I mean, think about it. You shoot a police dog, you're going to jail like shooting a cop. But they don't get the benefits that the officers do, which is it's not as bad as I thought, because they make a lot of money for this fundraiser, and it helps out with their budget. When I talked to the sergeant, he said, "You know what? It's not that bad." He said, "Because this fundraiser actually covers it and it keeps our budget low." He said, "So it's not a huge issue for us as long as people keep coming to this fundraiser and and donating to it." He said, "So when our dogs get sick or get hurt," he said, "there's a fund there." So, but it's necessary. They need to have it, but it's working. And there's 3 country music stars that are coming up to perform there, and it's going to be a good time. So I hope everybody comes May 30th. So if you're available, you should come down. So, but anyway, we were talking about your book and giving that anybody can have your book. You'll send it to them if they contact you. So I just want to ask you a question. I'm in the union, and I think we talked about this before. So I don't have a 401k. I have an annuity, but it's basically the same thing. So how do you get invested in what you were talking about before, the 707? Well, I don't even remember.
7702, 7,702, right? So that's just an IRS code, and it's an IRS code built by millionaires and billionaires, for millionaires and billionaires, right? You ever heard of a lobbyist?
Yes.
Well, think about it. Let's say, let's step back. Let's say me and you, Damon, are 100 millionaires, and we say we got some power here. We got some Luciano, right? Let's go pad some people's pockets, and let's make them build a plan specifically for me and Damon that give us an advantage over everybody else. Because let's go to the people who make the rules, right? The who has the gold makes the golden rules. What if we show them a little bit of gold? Look at Pelosi, right? $180,000 a year salary worth $400 million. She had her palm licked a couple times in the last 30 years. Let's put it that way. So, and I was a lobbyist. I was a lobbyist for the AALU and Guardian. I have pictures in my cell phone of being in the White House after 5 o'clock on Friday night, going to special dinners with congressmen and senators, and taking care of them. Let's just put it that way. To keep life insurance tax free. That's 7702 plan. So when you understand what 7702 is, it's just an IRS code. That's all it is. And it basically allows people to build a Roth IRA with no 59.5-year rule, no 10% penalty, no max of income, right? Because a Roth, if you make over like $180, you can't even contribute. And even if you could, you put $8,000 a year into it. I have clients that give me $15 million a year into it. There's no limit. There's no rules. So it's one of those things where and the coolest part, right? I'm sure a lot of your listeners won't spend the time Googling what I'm telling them to, because it's kind of important. It'll only save you millions of dollars over your life. That's all. But I mean, if you want to watch a Netflix show or see what's happening with the NBA playoffs tonight, have at it. That's more important to you. But so at the end of the day, there's something called non-direct recognition. Non-direct recognition. Put it in ChatGPT, see what it tells you. So what that little code is, or rider on a 7702 plan, it allows my clients to lean money out of their retirement account like a home equity line of credit. So if you take out a home equity line of credit and your house goes up 20%, guess what? You get all that. You didn't sell anything. You leaned it. And when you look at like when Hillary Clinton and Donald Trump were on the debate stage in 2016.
Okay.
And then Hillary goes, Donald, you're a bad orange man. You don't pay any taxes. Show the country your tax return. Show us your tax return. What did Donald Trump say? Think about it. What did he say? I mean, this was 10 years ago. What did he say?
I forget exactly what he said, but I know what you're talking about.
You know what he said? He said, I use the same IRS codes that your donors use, and you had 30 years to correct it because you've been in politics for 3 decades and you didn't.
Yeah.
And he was referring to 7702. That's what he was referring to.
That I didn't know.
I mean,
know that.
Well, nobody did. It went over 250 million Americans' heads. I mean, when you got somebody who's a billionaire who's telling you how not to pay any taxes, and it just goes over hundreds of millions of people's heads, like, huh? Come on. You know,
Everybody, remember that number in the tax code, because I'm going to look into it right afterwards.
It's only been around 190 years.
To work with Joe.
The code's only been around 190 years. It only survived the Civil War, World War I, the Great Depression, World War II, never needed outsourced money, never lost a dollar, never needed a bailout from the government. Every dollar that goes into it, they legally have to keep it in their account, so it's not micro-lending like a bank. It saves your money from the Dodd-Frank Act, which they can wipe your account out. I mean, the stuff I know doing this for almost 2.5 decades, it'll blow your mind.
Where the hell where have you been in my life? I mean, I seriously, I can't wait to work with you. I mean, I never heard of that before in my entire life. I know there are loopholes and tax stuff, and I know the government takes too much money from us, and they use it and they spend it in ways that we don't want them to do so. I mean, here in New Jersey, we pay $7.3 billion for illegal immigrants. They take it out of our state taxes.
That's it?
For our state.
Wait, it's Memorial Day. How much goes to all the people who sacrifice this so our country can stay free? How much of that $7.3 billion goes to them?
Don't know. None.
Yeah, zero.
Yeah.
And where are we, dude? At the end of the day, we got too complacent. We got too lazy. They put us in bubbles. They gave us the internet. They gave us Call of Duty and Grand Theft Auto, and they gave us, Netflix and Hulu. And they just softened us. They put estrogen in the water. They made men turn into women, and they turned women into men, and they divided us by race, gender, political view, religion, sports teams, height, weight, eye color, hair color, and they're winning. They are winning, and us, the people, are losing. You know how I know that? COVID. Right. What did we do as 300 million collective? We bowed down, we kneed down to the authorities and said, you can take our freedoms, you can take everything, you can give us an illegal a drug that has no testing. We'll be the guinea pigs, and we will make you guys trillions. I said that right with a T, trillions of dollars. And you can murder our grandmas, you can murder our grandfathers, go put them in comas. And go make $30,000 a death. Motorcycle accident, decapitated. Oh, COVID death, $30,000 to the hospital. So it's our fault. I mean, let's be real, right? Most people aren't real. They're fake. They're foozy. It's fugazi, right? I'm Italian. I can say that. So at the end of the day, it's our fault. And who's calling us out? Nobody, because we're all weak. We're all victims. We're all Karens, and it's sad, not trying to be an a-hole, but if the color's blue and everybody says it's purple, it's blue. It is what it is. Change, be better, take accountability, stop being a victim, save money, protect your family, because all the stuff people worry about, you can't change it. I want the sky to be yellow. Well, let's spend the next 40 years trying to make the sky yellow. Good luck with that.
Yeah. Well, Joe, I think you're right with that. But the way I see it is that I'm not saying that I have faced it, but I'm saying my generation and below my generation, they haven't faced any true adversity. I mean, the money that the government throws at you, they dangle the carrot. Oh, we're going to relieve your student loans, and you can go for this and that and the other. Look at the welfare state that we have here, and we're just keep raising the debt. Almost 39 trillion in debt now. But they never
over 39.
Over 39 now. Oh, great, thanks, America. So, but anyway, they think it's a never-ending fund. Like Dad always said back in the day. There's not a money tree outside to go get, but people think there is, and they don't know until it crashes, and it's going to. It's not sustainable. So, but what you're doing is showing people how to save their money, how to invest it in certain ways, and how to. Well, I've never even heard of what you talked about before, which is great. I thank you for it. I'm definitely going to look at them. I'm going to work with you on that, and I hope all the listeners contact you to get your book and the information that you have. But it's kind of cool what you're doing, and we need to learn about this and save our money, because the government, I tell our people all the time, the government doesn't have money. They have your money, and they take it and they just spend it willy-nilly. I have done so many government projects because I build commercial buildings for a living, and I've done so many, and I've seen the waste. It's unbelievable, because they work for the government. And see, I work for a company that is in it for profit. It's a private company. We're commercial, we build commercial buildings, and we're the general contractor. So we want to get the job done. We want to get it done profitable, on time, and safe, and all that. When it comes down to building a government entity, no matter what it is, dealing with them, they're like, well, yeah, we'll get to it. I'm like, well, I need an answer on this. I need this. I need that. And they're, oh, well, I don't know. We'll go to this department, go to that department. I'm like, well, I have 100 guys on the job site. I need to keep moving forward. They don't care. They don't care, because they don't care about money at all. The government does not. And that's why it's great what you're doing, telling people how to preserve your money and in the right way.
Well, it comes down to education, which we have zero on purpose. Let's enslave you, throw you in debt, credit card debt, mortgage debt, car note debt, student loan debt. Let's put our sheep. Let's multiply using usury, which is against our religion, if you call yourself a Christian. And let's just get hammered and smile while we are getting F word. So I free people, and I free hundreds, I free thousands, and I teach them. And my team teaches them, because we're a national brand now. And I just get that out there, and I just try and make sure that you understand, you know what you're doing. If you're working 40 hours a week, you're putting away 6% into a 401k or 10%, or you're maxing it, and you have no idea what a 401k is. You have no idea what the fee structure is. You have no idea what you're investing in. That's a problem. It's a problem. That means you're working 7 hours a week, and you have no idea why. Where's it going? How's it going? Well, you're seeing this number on the screen. It seems to go up, right? It goes down, but it eventually goes up. But half of it doesn't belong to you, right? I had a client that had a statement, came to my office. Look, I got $1 million in my 401k. I said, you ain't got no million. Take it out. Take it out. Well, you ain't got $1 million. My clients, they got $1 million. They have $1 million. It's cash. It's tax free. So when you understand what's really going on, and you wake the F up. And again, I'm not trying to be an a-hole. I'm just trying to wake some people up. There's some thick ignorance in this country. There's some thick programming in this country. And it takes time. Well, my neighbors have a 401k. My friend has an IRA. Is he retiring? Is he rich? Is he driving Lambos? Does he got a private jet? Does he got a yacht? No, but well, if I was 400 pounds and I'm telling you what to do for your health, you may not want to listen to me. I may not know what the F I'm talking about. And when you trust your friends with your financial health, it's like trusting your health to your neighbor who's got a beer gut and who's got a high blood pressure and high cholesterol and had a heart attack and a stroke 3 years ago. But he's telling you what to do for your health. And that's your mentor. Right? And you think Fox News or CNN is going to tell you how to be financially free, how to break the matrix? They are the matrix. People don't understand, right? I'm a Republican. Great. Cool. I vote straight red. Okay. But at the end of the day, they're two wings of the same bird. They're two wings of the same bird. So when it comes to money, do you know that money, Damon, is the number one talked about topic in the Bible? Money. Not following Jesus, not the 10 Commandments, not treat thy neighbor as thyself. Money is the number one topic discussed in the Bible. Go ask ChatGPT.
Yeah, we're looking for. That's the first time I ever heard that. So
right, isn't that funny? Right, these are all. And how many people have you interviewed?
A ton. I mean,
a ton. And you've been doing this a while, and I follow you, and I love your show. So when you understand this, why isn't this stuff out there? Why? I mean, what's hard for people? There's something called empathy, right? And if you're a Christian, a real one, you have it, right? If you're a fake one, you're a narcissist, self-serving, self-caring, selfish piece of crap. Yeah, you don't have it. But most people have empathy. So when you understand these topics, you read the Bible, you see what's really going on. You claim you're a Christian, but you're not following Christian values. There's a problem, right? Because again, we have 5 selves, and people think Joe's here to talk about money because I own a financial planning company for almost a quarter century. No. What people don't understand is your mental health, your spiritual health, your physical health, and your emotional health are all multipliers to your financial health. Your love of yourself, filling the hole in your heart, is how rich you're going to be financially. Isn't that weird? Right? Because like, let's take perfect examples. Rappers, sports athletes, lottery winners. What happens to almost 100% of them? What happens?
They don't know how to manage their money. They fall apart. They blow their money. I've seen it with basketball players, football players, rappers, all that. And lottery winners, you have the curse of the lottery out there. They don't know how to handle their money. They don't know. When you automatically get a ton of money and you don't know where to put it, what to do with it, they lose it.
No, they don't lose it because that means they'd be worth zero. They go bankrupt. That means they get a couple $100 million, and they don't just spend the couple $100 million. They spend more because their net worth is negative. That's the definition of bankruptcy, is meaning if I'm born in this world with $0, I'm worth zero. I get a couple $100 million and I'm worth negative $8 million, I have to go bankrupt. So is it the money?
What do you think about Harris in her campaign?
What do I think of what?
Kamala Harris in her campaign.
Oh, she was amazing, man. I love taxing unrealized gains. That's awesome. I got a Pokemon card right here that's worth $7,000 and I didn't sell it and they're gonna pay me tax on it. I have a TV, right? My TV went up in value. I have an old car that my grandfather left to me. They're gonna tax me on. I have an NFL Joe Montana rookie. They're gonna tax. My house went up in value. My house went up like $200,000. Are they going to charge me 20%? I owe them $40,000 on a house I didn't sell. I mean, that was the most dumbest thing that woman could have ever said out of her freaking mouth. Taxing unrealized gains. Are you effing out of your mind? And then you had how many dumb people voting for that? Oh my God. I mean, this, again, I don't have to say much. All I got to do is say COVID. Look how we acted with COVID. We are a stupid, ignorant society. And it's sad. I mean, there was a movie, I wish you knew the name of it. I saw clips on TikTok where the guy was the smartest guy in the world, right? and he woke up from a pod from hundreds of years ago. Oh, I got to Google that movie. It was like, it just tells our society, like it's again, am I the smartest person in the world? Hell no, I'm not. But at the end of the day, I found something out by working with millionaires, billionaires, sports athletes, top CEOs, Fortune 500 companies. And I just said, oh, wow, they're not investing in IRAs and 401ks. They don't have brokerage accounts. They don't buy Bitcoin and gold and silver. They use option contracts. They use participation rates. They use 7702 plans. Why would they do that? Because at the end of the day, what people don't understand, people think assets are important. Assets are not what's important. Income is what is important. Income is your quality of life. Income pays your bills. Income allows you to buy crap. Assets don't. So you buy strategies or assets that have income producing properties, right? Like, because I could sell you a $20 million piece of land in Las Vegas that cost you $600,000 a year in property taxes. So your net return on $20 million is negative 600 grand a year. Do you want that property? So
Good point.
income is what people need to put money in. What the just take a step back. Everything you've learned when it comes to finance is wrong. Everything. Put stuff on credit card debt, invest in qualified money. I love when the government puts words. When the government's like, the bill's called non-harming children bill. It like literally like harms children. Like whatever the bill the government comes out with, it does exactly the opposite of what it says it does. The Patriot Act spies on us. That's what patriots do. Yeah, I'm sure that's what Abraham Lincoln did. He spied on everybody. Yeah, okay. So when you understand it, it's not your fault. It's not your listener's fault. I'm not trying to hear again. I'm not trying to be an a-hole. I'm just trying to wake people up. No, I'm sure most people don't talk to you like this. Most people don't try to wake you up to what's really going on, and it's sad.
No, I see all the comments box right now. A lot of people are responding to it. To what you're saying. I mean, it's and well, Pete said time for the Freedom Party. Pete, let go of your Freedom Party. We're talking about finances right now. He's a friend of mine.
Well, I'm part of the Freedom Party. I free people from the slavery of your Social Security number, from the slavery of the U.S. and federal and the state governments, and I free you from Wall Street. Do you know that 401ks at one time were tax-free? Did you know that?
No,
Did you know that 401ks weren't colluded to owning any assets? They worked as tax-free pensions for people.
No, I did not. I'm sure nobody else listening right now did not.
Do you know on YouTube there's a really good 60 Minutes article of with Barbara Walters on 401ks. I highly recommend your viewers to watch, where 401ks were the best investment in the world, and then guess who got involved? Wall Street. And Wall Street colluded with who? The federal government. And then the federal government and Wall Street enslaved your dollars. They held them hostage to your 59.5 with penalty, with high fees. And then at 73.5, they force you to take your money out. Do you know the penalty if you don't pull money out at 73.5 years old? Do you know the penalty they charge you?
I know there's a penalty if you take it out early. I didn't know it was a penalty that they force you to take it out in 73. I didn't know that.
Well, the penalty is 50%. 50% penalty on what you're supposed to take it out.
What? So if you don't take out your 401k, so I have an annuity, same thing, through the I'm 73.
Yeah.
If I don't pull it off, they take 50%.
No, if you don't pull out what's required minimally distributed, which the government tells you. So the government tells you that you can't touch it and you have to handcuff it for decades. You're 59.5. And then once you're 73.5, they say you have to pull it out, and it goes by your age to death, sort of like Social Security. The older you are, the higher the percentage. So say it starts at 3.5%, 4%. So I have $2 million, 4% is 80 grand. If I don't pull that 80 grand out that year, they charge me a $40,000 penalty.
Wow.
Isn't it funny? Nobody knows any of this. Dude, please fact check
that's
me.
why everybody. Yeah,
Please.
yeah. Fact check them. Everyone's listening.
Please fact check me.
And
please call me a liar.
Great information.
23 years, 0 complaints, A+ rating on the Better Business Bureau. I kind of know what the hell I'm talking about. And it's sad that nobody understands what any of this works. What you're taught, go to work, be a good boy, and put your money with the government and let the government tell you when you can touch it and let Wall Street. Do you know what's funny? Do you know the percentage over a 30-year period that Wall Street steals from your account?
I don't know. Let everyone
What's
know.
1.5% times 30?
Times 1.5 times. No, check my math. It's 3.3%.
It's 45. If I have 1.5 times 30, because 1 times 30 is 30. Half times 30 is 15. 30 plus 15 is 45. Okay. So that's 45%. And that's if it was simple. That's if it was simple. It's on the whole account. It's compounding fee. It's a compounding fee. Over 50% of what you put into your 401k, IRA, SEP, simple pension, deferred comp, 457 is stolen from you. You know how I know that? Let's say you're putting away $15,000 a year. Simple math.
How do you?
And let's say you get to year 30, and let's say you save up $2 million. What's 1.5% of $2 million? That's 30 grand.
I'm not even going to.
So 30 grand, that's your first year and your second year contribution. How about year 29? Well, that's your third year and your fourth year contribution. How about 28? That's your fifth year and most your sixth year contribution. How about 27? That's your seventh year and half of your eighth year contribution. And go on and on and on. So at the end of the day, people just don't get it. They don't understand compounding interest on purpose. They don't teach it in school. It's a sixth wonder of the world. But they teach you the quadratic formula, right? 2a over 4ac squared, the square root of it's all bullshit. And they don't teach you how to balance a checkbook. They don't teach you about money. They don't teach you about tax code. They don't teach you about investing. They don't teach you about building a house. They don't teach you about how to be an entrepreneur. They don't teach you about S corps. They don't teach you about C corps. They don't teach you about write-offs, putting your kids on payroll. They don't teach you about any of that. But you'll learn about gender studies. That you should have your wiener chopped off if you feel like you're a girl. They'll teach you about that. It has nothing to do with your prosperity in life as a human. So you have to understand, school is not your friend. The government is not your friend. The media is not your friend. Everything is designed to. No, you're not media. You're what's called alternative media. I'm what's called alternative investing. So I am the Rumble, the Oasis of financial planning. I'm not your Dave Ramsey. The market gets 12% a year. Well, if the market got 12% a year, do you know how much the market earned from 1999 to 2012 for 13 years combined? Zero. That's what the market earned. But the market gets 12% a year. Well, what about 08? Well, it only lost 70% that year, and it'll come back. And again, I go on and 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 on. And it's sad because, like, sometimes I feel like I'm speaking at a very high level, right? I'm speaking college course finance. And unfortunately, the average listener is at third grade.
I hear you there. And listen, thank you very much for speaking so much because you made it easy for me, this podcast. So because I wanted you to get everything out there. I've been busy as hell with everything that I've been doing today and beforehand, but I wanted people to hear what you had to say. So we're going to take a quick break and we're going to go into the Patriot and Loser of the Week award. It's a very short segment, and then we'll be right back.
America's Pulse Network. The mainstream media is bought and paid for. The truth is twisted to fit their agenda. But America is waking up. Because podcasts are the future for trusted media. Welcome to the America's Pulse Network. It is a network built by patriots that upholds the Constitution. But America's Pulse Network stands for God, truth, and the America First movement. There is no corporate propaganda, no government spin, just real news, real talk, and real voices fighting for faith, freedom, and the future of this great nation with common sense. Here are some of America's Pulse Network podcasts. Alexandra Levine Live, hosted by Alexandra Levine. Jersey Shore Podcast, hosted by Damon Galdo. The Conservative Corner, hosted by Seth Eisenberg. The New Jersey State House Watch, hosted by Jack Brangan and Constance Detzel. APN's The Pulse is moderated by either Alexandra, Damon, Elena, or Seth. Also tune into America's Pulse Network on the following social media platforms: X, Rumble, Truth Social, Parler, Facebook, YouTube, and Spotify. Join the revolution because the pulse of America beats for God and country. America's Pulse Network is for faith, family, freedom, and truth.
All right, everyone, welcome back to the Jersey Shore Podcast, SURE, because we are always sure. I don't know, Joe, it's coming back on, Joe Lombardi. There he goes. So, Joe, I'm going to just do the Patriot and Loser of the Week award first, and then I'll have a following question for you to end this. So let's go with the Patriot of the Week award.
The Jersey Shore Podcast presents the Patriot Award. And it goes to Joe Lombardi.
That's my great producer. They're all Joe Lombardi on there. I guess they did it. But it's Joe Lombardi. That's not that Joe Lombardi. Not the Lombardi Trophy for football. But no, this Joe Lombardi is the Patriot Week Award. So
That's hilarious.
He probably did it on purpose.
I love it. I love it. I was watching your commercial. I'll be on Alexandra Levine, I think, on July 2nd, as long as I don't go on vacation. So small world.
Oh,
yeah.
Right. Yeah. She's part of our network, and we all started together. Our great producer, his name is Damon as well, and Alexandra and Seth.
Small world. Because I was like, I've been on that show. I was watching it. It was just funny. Well, I love working with Patriots, man. I'd love, if I had a choice to work with liberals that want shit for free, or people that bust their ass every day to provide for their family, protect, believe in Jesus, I'll take the latter 10 out of 10 times.
So I hear you there. So I'm going to give the Loser of the Week award now, and there's a reason why. I'm not saying the losers, but it's going to be my closing message with you. So let's just play the Loser of the Week award. He's coming.
The Jersey Shore Podcast is announcing the recipient of our latest Loser Award. This award goes to the working class American citizens.
Losers! 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 Oh, shut up!
Now, Joe, I got to ask you, the reason why I did that, usually I get, we back up? Yeah, here we go. So the reason I did that, the working class citizens aren't losers. They work for a living, but they're losing because of everything that you talked about. So, and we're getting taxed to hell. So we are losing. I look at, they raised the minimum wage in New Jersey up to almost $16 per hour.
Wow. 32 grand a year. Can you imagine?
Yeah, and that's for high school kids. Coming out of high school to figure out what they're going to do, work at McDonald's, whatever it may be. But when you look at the wages and the inflation from 2018 to now, it was like 23% inflation.
Oh, that's it.
Well, Pretty much so. And then
I'd say it's way more than that.
Yeah, I'm sure it is, but I'm just.
It's way more. I mean, look at house values. I own rental properties that doubled in 4 years.
Yeah,
We saw the S&P 500 almost, go up 30, 40, 50%. I mean, inflation is running at 6 to 7%. For the last 8 years, that would be 42. 8 times 7 is 42%. So it's double what you quoted.
So
what you're looking at is the CPI numbers from the government that don't include gas, don't include electricity. They don't include those numbers on purpose. They don't include milk. Milk 8 years ago was $1.76 a gallon. It's now $4.59.
Wow. Yeah, I know. I don't do the food shop. My wife does, but I know it's up there. I know.
Yeah, I go sometimes. My wife's like, "Hey, go grab it," and I'm sitting there. I went today just to grab some stuff for Memorial Day. We had my son's girlfriend over. We had my brother-in-law over. It was $86 for some chicken, some seasoning, and eggs, and some cake mix for my daughter's birthday in 2 days because my wife's making my daughter a cake for her 11th-year-old birthday. I was like, $83. And dude, it was food that would last you a day. Like it's insane what everything is. And we share the similar expenses. New Jersey, Connecticut, we're both getting screwed, right?
What would you say, like, because I look at it too. I was doing some research on the middle class, the wages that were raised. I mean,
What middle class?
Well, there isn't any anymore because they're hollowing it out. Because
Of course.
raising the minimum wage to that amount, they're hollowing out the middle class. But
how do you hire somebody? Because $16 an hour, $32,000 plus health benefits, plus match 401k, plus workman's comp. You're at 75, 80,000 a year. Like if you're a business owner, it's insane.
Yeah, I know, but middle class wages. Well, I consider myself middle class. They only went up 22%, so it didn't even catch up to the inflation rates. So I'm just saying I feel it every day. I'm struggling to pay my mortgage. I'm struggling to pay my utility bills. I see it all my neighbors. It's the same thing. Like,
Well, why is that? Why is that, Damon? Do you know why?
Let's have it.
Budget. Do you have a budget?
Well, yes, I do. My wife does not.
So no, you don't have a budget. So they divided men and women, right? I've been with my wife since I was 18, and it hasn't been easy. And I'm not here to have a boohoo story. I'm not here to get into my marital relationship. But it's not easy. They weaponized women against men, and they weaponize men against women. Go look at our different algorithms. Women's algorithm is their victim. It is beneath you to clean and cook. So go buy food. Go get Uber. Go get Uber Eats. It's beneath you. Don't do it. And then with men, the algorithms are, the Bible says that women are supposed to support you, right? They don't, right? So what you just said is one of the biggest problems in our culture, is that men and women aren't on the same page. And it's all by design. Algorithms, social media, Instagram, Facebook, TikTok, they tell women you don't stay home, you don't cook, you don't clean because that's beneath you. So go buy it. You go work. Right? One of the biggest scams ever done to the American people was telling women that they should work. And then they're 35, 40, they have no kids, and they're miserable. They have cats. That's why they have cat ladies. The cat ladies didn't exist 30 years ago. They didn't. They didn't exist 30 years ago. I'm telling you, they didn't. So when you really look at it, it's not. I mean, I guess
You're making me laugh. No, I know.
And you know why it's funny? Because it's true.
Yeah, you're right. It is.
So when you look at it, you have the number. What God created was man and women, husband and wife, king and queen. And what ended up happening, the women became the kings, and the men became the queens. Right? As Alex Jones says, the water's turning the frogs gay. They've also turned American men gay. Not in a sexual way, but in a way to communicate, take authority, be appreciated. So, I mean, you want to get really, really real. What's really going on is multidimensional. So how can you have a budget, Damon, when your partner, your queen, doesn't play by the same rules as you, doesn't look at you as authority, doesn't allow you to have a say as the man of the house, as the king in the house? Because they decapitated kings. They decapitated us as men.
You're right about that, and I respect my wife 100%. And she's
I
watching.
respect my wife, love her to
Yeah,
death, but
but she doesn't realize when something needs to be paid that's different than something that you
well,
want.
social media doesn't teach her that. Social
Yeah,
media teaches her that she's an independent, dependent woman. Make that make sense.
I know. Like I went. It's been 2 years since I bought a pair of work boots.
Yeah, and I'm not here to get you in trouble, Damon.
No,
I'm just here.
no. I'm already in trouble with her anyway.
Aren't we all? Right?
Yes.
And how does that work?
So we'll get over. We'll talk about it, but it's fine. We have a good relationship, but no, like
It's my fault. Whatever Damon's wife's name is, I'm sorry.
Yeah,
it's my
Heather
fault. You can blame me, Heather. It's my fault, Heather.
But I went and bought a pair of work boots. It's been 2 years, and these are things that I wear the majority of my life. So I need a good pair of boots. So it's been 2 years. Mine were falling apart, so I needed them. I went to the store. I went right in. I bought one thing: work boots. Nothing else. It was a necessity. That's what I bought. I didn't look around and shop like, maybe I want this. Maybe I want that. Nothing. It was just tunnel vision. I'm going to the store, one mission, buy boots, buy them, come home. And that's it. But when it comes to women or even other people too, they look at all these ads and walk around, I had to buy this. It was on sale.
Oh, I just had this conversation today with my wife.
Sale.
Go to Kohl's. Go to Kohl's. How many men do you see at Kohl's?
I've done 0. I just went to Kohl's.
Right. And when you look at it, why are so many women there? Because when the woman comes home with the receipt, right? I saved $132. I said, what? You bought a pair of socks for $38 that were on sale, that regular $90, that cost $2 to make in Indonesia. And so they look at like, oh, look at all this money I saved. It's like
you didn't.
I don't want to be mean, but there's a word.
Yeah.
And it begins with I and it ends in T. And it's like you've been played.
I know. It's like
a fiddle.
Thing is a sale. I mean, it really isn't.
Oh my God. It's criminal. It's criminal.
It's like I don't know how
it's a $10 item. They mark up to $38 and they put a regular $69.99 on it, and they tell you save $32.
Yeah, exactly.
You mean I overpaid by $22? Is that what you meant to say? Oh no, like that's what the receipt said. That's what the receipt said. It's like, oh my God, dude, just go to eBay, go to Amazon. You can buy the same thing for 70% cheaper than what the sales price is. It's But again, this is our culture. The culture is taking advantage of idiots. And I say idiots out of love. What that means to me is uneducated. And it's not your fault. That I don't speak Chinese. So that's like someone who speaks Chinese is like, oh, Joe Lombardi, he's an idiot. He doesn't know how to speak Chinese. You're right. If that's your definition of if you're smart or not, if I'm able to speak Chinese, you're right. I'm a complete idiot. Because it's not what I do. And it's not what 99% of more than that of Americans do. They don't know financial language. They don't know. They go to a car dealership to buy a car, and the first thing they ask is, "Can you keep my payments under $350 a month?" And the finance guy's like, "Sure, I'll make it a 700-month loan. Sure, you'll pay this thing off when you're 84 years old, and you'll pay $200,000 in interest." And you're like, "Okay, as long as it's under $350, I'm good." It's like they every aspect of your life you're being played. You are being manipulated. You're being taken advantage of because you don't know numbers, right? Thank God. Thank you, Jesus. I'm a numbers guy. I'm like the Rain Man with numbers. But I talk to people all the time. They're like, I don't know about numbers. I'm like, well, then you're getting screwed. And the reason I love numbers, it's the only thing in our world that is definitive.
You're right about
2
that.
plus 2 equals 4. It can never be transgender 5.
You're correct about
Well,
that.
2 plus 2, I feel like it could be 5. No, I don't give a shit what you feel like. It's 4. No matter what. No matter what.
Numbers do not lie. That's
2
it.
plus 2. That's what I tell my clients all the time. Men lie, women lie, but numbers don't lie. So when I show you the numbers, that this is what you're going to pay over 30 years, and you're going to lose millions. Millions of dollars in taxes, market loss, and interest by doing what the government tells you versus what I can teach you that millionaires and billionaires do. It's like you can't argue with that. I mean, again, unless your plumber told you that it's a bad idea, because you got to trust your plumber to do financial advice. Again, trust your 400-pound neighbor about health advice. Good luck with that. She's on 7 medications. She's already been in the hospital 3 times, had 2 bypasses in her heart. But listen to her. She'll tell you what the best health advice is.
Dude, I love you because you're so direct. I love like what you're saying. It's just because I don't like people that just pussyfoot around. You know what I mean? It's just direct.
Again, I'm not here to make friends. I'm here to save lives. I've never seen somebody show up on a car accident where the guy's dying on the street, and the paramedic is like, oh, Damon, are you okay? What's your favorite football team? I like your shirt, Damon. It's blue. You're literally bleeding out, and it's like, no, I'm here to save your freaking life. That's what I'm in God's energy. Why do you think I'm allowed on really cool shows like yours, Damon? I do around 100 of these a year. Just type in Ironhawk Financial or Joseph Lombardi on Rumble, let alone the other 30 platforms, and you'll see all the videos I've done. So this stuff is real, right? And to be invited on these shows, I wouldn't be who got me on this show is Terry from the Patriot Connections. Wonderful woman.
Yeah.
I worked with her for years. One of the best humans I ever met in my life. And she wouldn't put her name on me if she didn't do her due diligence on what I do, who I am, what I stand for, what my principles are, and what I deliver. And it's so vitally important, right? If you're broke, there's a reason why you're broke. And I'm sorry to tell you, it's your fault. If you're 350 pounds, it's only your fault. Nobody else is shoveling food in your mouth. Nobody else, if you're broke, is spending all your money. That's you. So you could be a victim and say, no, it's the cultural's fault. It's TikTok's fault. It's the algorithm's fault. It's the casino's fault. It's I didn't know to pay my taxes on time. Fault. No, it's your fault. And if you're going to keep doing the same things over and over and expect different results, that's a definition of insanity. Look it up.
Yes.
So do you care about your financial self? Some people don't. I meet some super cool people that like live in the woods. And they have no bills, no property tax, no car tax. They don't have a car, and they're living their best life, living off the land. God bless them. They got a farm. They got animals. Hey, God bless you, man. You don't need to be in the matrix. But if you want real wealth, you want to leave a legacy, you want to have your bloodline live, you want to copy what the Rockefellers do, you want to pay your house off quicker, you want to get out of debt faster, you want to build wealth so you can actually retire, not in living in a shoebox eating tuna, but actually retire in a dignity and quality of life way to see your grandkids, reach out. Send an email, info@ironhawkfinancial.com. Get all my stuff. How much money does it cost? Wait, 1, 2, 3, free. How many complaints have I had in 23 years? Oh, 0. How many clients do I have? 1, 2, 3, 4,000. So when you look at it, this stuff works. Okay, just because your neighbor's not doing it, your brother-in-law, who's an accountant, tells you you should put more money away in your 401k because you're asking your accountant the wrong effing question. It's not how can I save the most money today, because you're not saving a damn thing. You're deferring. The word savings and the word deferral are not synonymous. I watch an NFL game. Flip the coin. Oh, I'm going to defer to the second half to kick off. Did you save anything? You didn't save a damn thing. You still got to kick the ball off in the second half. So when you look at it, if there's one thing you learn, go ask your accountant, how do I save the most money over the course of my life. Oh no, Joe, my accountant says I'll be in a way lower tax bracket when I retire. Oh, let's explore that real quick and we can, go about our day. So what you're telling me is I'm going to make the most money ever made when I'm in 50s, 60s, high tax bracket, and then I'm going to live in poverty when I retire. I'm going to be in a low tax bracket. So I'm going to go from the 23, 24, 32% tax bracket, and I'm going to be all the way down to the 15% tax bracket. That means your income went from 250 grand a year down to 40. How are you going to live on that when you pay more than that in taxes the year before? Tell me that. If that's your strategy? Oh, my strategy is I'm going to live in poverty when I retire. Why? Because your accountant told you that that's how it works? Well, you know who you should listen to? A financial planner. Somebody who's been in the business a quarter century. Somebody who has clients in their 30s, 40s, 50s, 60s, 70s, who's been with them in their 50s and now they're in their 70s. Or been with them in their 60s, now they're in their 80s. Your accountant's not there when you stop working. What's he filing? There's no income to file. He's gone. And he charged you all that money, stole all your money, created a huge stuff, cost you millions of dollars in taxes, and you paid him tens of thousands of dollars, hundreds of thousands over 30 years. And what did you get for that? You paid Wall Street hundreds of thousands of dollars. You paid the federal and state government over $1 million in taxes. What'd you get for all that? The word is called screwed. That's what you got. So there's a better way than that. And if you honestly care about your financial health, it will cost you $0 to go and send an email to info@Ironhawk Financial and say, hi, I heard you on Damon's show, Mr. Galdo, Mr. New Congressman, #1 in New Jersey, which I pray he wins. That's what you did. And what did it cost you? Nothing. And I'll send you everything.
Well, Joe, thank you very much. I want to just let you roll with all this. You kind of saved me tonight because I've been busy as heck, like I said earlier. But I wanted everyone to hear what you had to say. I mean, and on top of that, everything that you have to say, people need to hear more. So you're more than welcome to fill out an application to come on the America's Pulse Network and have your own show. I think you'd be great, seriously. Or if not, you got to come on, like quarterly on my show to keep talking about. But you'd be great with your own show. You really would. So
it's something that I'm starting, moneytalkwithironhawk.com. It's been a process. I was supposed to have my shows out 4 months ago, but it's taking a long time between my CMO, the videographer, getting it done right. They want it perfect. And I said, I don't care about it being perfect. Just get this information out. Because I mean, this is so important. It's one of the most important things. It's at least 20% of your life, your financial life. You have your financial, spiritually, mentally, emotional, physical life. Your financial is kind of important. Gives you peace. Does money make you happy? Inadvertently, yes.
It does.
Money makes you happy. You know who says money doesn't make you happy? Broke people.
Yeah.
Do you know who says money makes you happy? All the millionaires and billionaires I work with, sports athletes, celebrities, Fortune 500 companies, CEOs, business owners, entrepreneurs. Yes, money does make me happy. It really does. Is it going to fill a hole in my heart for being in love with another human? No. But it's going to get me a jet to a nice island when it's raining here and I can be nice and warm over there. It's going to pay all my bills. It's going to let me take a day off. It's going to let me have the mirror be my boss. You know how cool it is to have the mirror be your boss? It is so effing cool. I don't know. I feel like I don't want to go to work today. What do you think, mirror? I'll take the day off. Are you sure? Am I going to get fired? Nah, you're good. It's awesome.
Not just that. I mean, it's stressful when you're trying to figure out how to pay for something. When you have a bill coming up or a mortgage payment, and you're like, how do I have to work a side job?
Yeah.
Yeah. So it does. Money.
So you know how to get out of that, Damon? Live below your means. You're in New Jersey. Stop trying to impress people who don't like you by buying a vehicle you can't afford or a house you can't afford. Live below your means and enrich your future self because we enrich our future self with credit card debt, mortgages, student loans, car notes. We enrich ourselves. Oh, I can buy this car right now for only $350 a month. Yeah, it's only for 84 months. So you're going to buy this $20,000 car for $47,000. So you're going to steal $27,000 from your future self. But you can have this car today. What do you think? That's called usury. Look it up. The Jews run our country. Look it up. Why was Charlie Kirk murdered? I wonder. Look it up. So when you understand what's really going on, you have to take a step back and say, what am I going to do? And only worry about the things you can control. That's it. Worry about the things you can control. Can you control the war in Iran? No. Can you control tariffs? No. Can you control all the illegal immigrants coming in? Nope. But can you control what you spend today? Can you control the caloric intake you took today? Can you control, did you get your ass to the gym today? Can you control, did you work 12 hours today or take off and work 2 or take the day off? Can you control that I don't need to buy that useless piece of colored plastic? I don't need to watch and binge watch an episode for 3 days, which is stole, because guess what? Your mortgage is still due, your rent still due, your car payment still due, your student loan still due. You take 3 days off, you still got to pay that daily amount. What is your daily amount? Nobody knows. What do you need to make per day to live? Well, you got to feed myself. I got to pay. I got to divide my mortgage by 30. I got to divide my car by 30. I got to divide my credit card payment by 30. How many people do that? 0. How many people are wealthy? Close to 0. All the money got extracted. It's not rocket science. Men lie, women lie, numbers don't lie. Live below your means. Stop impressing people who don't like you, buying things you can't afford to fill a hole in your heart that should be filled by Jesus Christ. That's it. It's that simple.
I didn't want to interrupt. I wanted you to keep going with that. But I'm telling you right now, get with our producer. Give this man a contract on the APN. Seriously. It was awesome, man. We went way over the time, but I want to have you keep going. And it was a great conversation with you. If you don't want to join the APN, you're going to do your own thing, but you still got to come back on this podcast and say everything you just said. Great stuff. Good words. Thank you very much for coming on. So I don't know if we're going to play. I know you were talking about the song. I don't know if you're going to play my song or actually, DW, if you can play my song at the end, we'll do the
Hell yeah.
We'll do the K9 Country Jam on Wednesday at the Pulse. So I'll just go. I'm going to end it here. And thank you very much. I'm just going to announce some candidates that are running in New Jersey. Run through that real quick, and then we're going to sign off with everyone that watched and listened. Thank you very much for tuning in. Like and subscribe. And this is the great Joe Lombardi. So look him up. So we'll go into the candidates.
Hey, it's great to be on with you. This is a great podcast. It's a lot of fun and it's informative and it's real information. It's none of the frills and none of the nonsense that you hear on the legacy media. Just telling the story of what's happening right now. It's what I do with my newsletter that I get out to anybody who wants to see it. It's what you're doing with this podcast. America needs to know what the real deal is, and you're the real deal.
So thank you, Jeff, for that. I mean, that was Jeff Van Drew, Congressman District 2. Thank you for telling me that I'm the real deal. I appreciate that very much so. So let's go into the candidates. All right. We have Justin Murphy, great friend of mine, good guy. We're going to have a town hall with Justin and myself on May 29th, Friday in Medford, New Jersey. So it'll be at the Medford. It's online. So with the address and everything, I don't remember the address offhand. I'm sorry about that. But it's on my Facebook page. It's on his. It's everywhere. Everyone pushed it out there. But in Medford, New Jersey, it's in Burlington County. At 7 p.m. we'll have a meet the candidate. I'll be there with Justin Murphy, and also Robert Schull will be there. He's running for mayor of Burn Township. So let's go to the next one. I don't know who, I keep saying, I don't even know who this guy is, man. Damon Galdo for U.S. Congress. I mean, I've never heard of him before, but I'm sure you did. But no, Damon Galdo for Congress is, as always, I'm joking. But go to votedamongaldo.com. I'm still trying to raise money against the juggernaut in Norcross, the corrupt Norcross regime, I'll say, because his brothers were indicted multiple times, and they control everything around here, and they snapped their fingers and raised $3 million. So, but I'm the only one going up against them. I'm the only one that has the stones to do it. So please go to my website, and I could use all the help I can get. We'll go to the next one. There's Van Drew. He was on my podcast, gave me a 32-minute interview. He's the man, District 2. Jeff is running again. He's the incumbent. So make sure you get out there and vote for Jeff. And Jason Cullen, same deal, CD3. He's a man. He's been on the podcast many times. Jason is a solid guy. Make sure you get out there and vote for him. And remember, everybody, that this June 2nd is the primary. And I'm lucky enough not to have a primary. So I'm going to be able to walk through it. But these people do. So make sure we get out to vote. Republicans, get out to vote, please. All right, next. And then we have Chris Smith. Again, I don't know him personally, but I looked at his website. I like what he stands for. So make sure we get out to vote for Chris Smith. It's very important. We'll go next. Hillary Herzig. She is awesome and amazing. Been on the podcast a couple times and met her many times. She is great, and she's fighting for the state of New Jersey just as hard as I am, and Colin is, and all the other candidates. And then you have Tom King Jr. incumbent is running again. So if you don't know him, look up his website. But again, get out to vote. And next, Tiffany Burris for Congress. Yeah, Tiffany is awesome. We talked before, and I didn't have her on the podcast yet. I can't wait to have her on. But again, June 2nd, get out and vote for Tiffany Burris. And then same thing with Carmen Bucco. Make sure we get out and vote for Carmen Bucco. I don't know him personally. I can't wait to meet him. But yes, another great candidate that I know of. Just hearing him speak and looking at his website, he seems like a really good guy, and he's a Republican. So come on, it's that simple. Get out to vote for Carmen Bucco. Joe Hathaway, I know he lost the special election, but he's running again. He was running for our horrible governor's, Mikey Sherrill's seat when she was in Congress, and he lost that special election. But in November, he's running again. We got to get him in. Next, and then I think it's Greg Millay. Last, Greg Millay is an awesome guy. He's great. Check out his website. I met him many times. He was on the podcast as well. So you can go check out those episodes when he was on. But Greg is a great guy. He's fighting hard. So get out to vote for Greg. And I think that's it, guys. My producer, are we going on to something else? I don't know what he's doing there, but either way, well, I'll still talk about Greg or myself. But actually, I'll talk about Joe Lombardi. Joe Lombardi was great tonight, guys. Until we go into our end this and go into the song at the end, I just want to say Ironhawk, and Joe Lombardi. I mean, that guy is great. He's a character too. I mean, he was like the life of the show, and I think that he came on, and took care of all this stuff. Joe is awesome. So make sure you look him up. And like he said, everything will give you for free. Contact him, email him. He'll send you his book. He'll send you information, and he'll work with you. And that's why I love having him on my show. This was the second time I had him. Joe, thank you very, very much for coming on. I appreciate it. So I think we're muted.
Yeah, thank you for having me, brother. I appreciate you having me on the show, man. If I help one person, God took an hour and 40 minutes out of my life away from my wife and children to try and free one person. And my family benefits from the millions of dollars I make every year, so they understand the commitment I make to trying to free people from Satan and the demonic energy that rules our culture and rules our country.
You are the man. Thank you very much. Signing off. Thank you, Joe. Appreciate
Thank you, brother.
America's Pulse Network and the Jersey Shore podcast will be live streaming a town hall featuring Justin Murphy, candidate for Senate, and Damon Galdo, candidate for Congress, District 1 in New Jersey. The event will take place on May 29th at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, broadcasting live from the Medford Community Center. You can watch the stream on YouTube, Rumble, X, and Substack.
Blue lights cut through the Jersey night. Another call, another fight. Partner riding by his side. Poor Paul steady, full of pride. He does not quit, he does not slow. Runs straight where the danger goes. But when the bills come crashing in, the handler pays again. Yeah, the badge is heavy, the job is tough, but these brave dogs deserve enough. Boots on the ground, paws in the fight. K9 heroes working all night. They wear the shield, they hold the line. They give their all every time. If they are officers when danger calls, they should be covered through it all. So we raise our voice and raise this jam for the dogs who always take the stand. Word got out across the land. Country Hearts started a band. Adam Wardrop brought the flame. Bubba Beer backed the name. And Colby Lee Swift with strings that cry, singing for the dogs who never ask why. Just good men trying to make it right. Standing up in the spotlight. Yeah, small town hearts and a country sound. Standing up and laying it down. On the ground, paws in the fight. K9 heroes working all night. They wear the shield, they hold the line. They give their all every time. If they are officers when danger calls, they should be covered through it all. So we raise our voice and raise this jam for the dogs who always take the stand. Stage. Crowd gets loud, the good hearts raise. These dogs do not choose the line, still they cross it every time. Till the budget makes it right, we will sing into the night. Boots on the ground, paws in the fight. America, hear us loud tonight. Fund the heroes who cannot speak. Stand by the brave who guard our streets until the day the system stands tall. We will not stop, we will not stall. Country strong and back in the blue. K9 heroes, this song is for you. For every handler standing tall, and every dog who gives his all.
The Hammer thanks you for watching tonight's Jersey Shore podcast. See you at the next packed show, from breaking news to topics that will keep you informed. So please click the subscribe button to get notified of upcoming episodes. If you like what the Hammer talked about, then share the Jersey Shore podcast to others. Damon also looks forward to seeing you on the next episode.